Jim Warren of 101 Livestock Inc. is a leader, a forward-thinking individual, and a go-to guy when it comes to relating any aspect of beef production to the media. His ideas in livestock marketing, animal handling, and animal identification have paved the way for many other livestock producers and marketing operations. That's why the California Cattlemen's Association, Montana State University, and the California Livestock Auction Markets Association, CLAMA, have nominated Jim for the 2009 National Beef Quality Assurance Award.
In 1973, I had about $350,000 worth of cattle paid for. And in the fall of 1974, I was back to zero. After the crash in the cattle market, they took all the money that I had. And so I came back to Harold Wells, who owned this livestock market, which I tried to buy in 1973. And I was buying cattle here at that particular time, and he said, "Jim, are you still interested in this market?" And I said, "Well, sure I am, but I said I don't have any money now." And so he said, "Well, if you'll come and run it for 30 days, he says, I'll make a deal with you." So after 30 days, I can still see him walking up the road, parked his car out in front and walked up there, and he handed me a check for $1,000. And I said, "No," I says, "I don't want the money. I told you I'd run it for free." And he said, "Well," he said, "I didn't want you to run it for free," he said, "to start with." And he says, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "Well, I'd sure like to do it. I like the business, and I'd like to make a deal." And he says, "Well, the rent's $1,000 a month." And he says, "If you're here at the end of 5 years, I'll just give you the business." And so I handed him his check back and said, "Here's my first month's rent."
At that time, the market had 2 full-time employees and sold about 5,000 cattle each year.
In 1975, nobody hardly shipped cattle out of state out here. So I could see bunching these cattle up and getting them off into a different market would be advantageous for our customers. And it wasn't the money, making so much money, as it was the concept of being able to produce a good product and get it marketed for what it was really worth.
Today, there are 12 full-time employees and up to 60,000 cattle are sold each year. Jim has always been at the forefront of animal welfare and proper animal handling.
When we first started here, there was the challenge of a lot of humane groups. Because we're in a really metropolitan area and the Highway 101 goes right by our front door, we were pretty visible for a long time. And that has changed over time because the humane groups realized that our heart was in the right place. We were trying to do the right thing.
Using his own common sense approach, as well as consulting with experts like Temple Grandin, Jim has created a sale yard which stands out among other sale barns across the country. It excels in its ease of processing cattle comfortably through the market chain. Because of his vision, livestock can move onto his facility, through the sale ring, and back off his property with much less stress. By 1991, the remodel was complete with a new auction building containing the most modern computers and computer programs so they could transfer vaccination information directly to buyers. Furthermore, Jim has gone through great lengths to install an RFID tag reading system at his facility. He provides records of this data to benefit his buyers and sellers so they know that they, and ultimately the consumers, are getting the best quality beef product possible. Beyond his cutting-edge facility, Jim also uses progressive animal handling practices. In 1985, 101 started a vaccination program designed to help cattle develop immunity to the majority of the major diseases in the industry. In 2000, 101 started rewarding producers who participated in their vaccination program, which consisted of at least one shot of modified live 4-way, 8-way, and Pastorella, with free floppy animal ID tags. That year, 20,000 tags were given away to encourage participation. The calves and yearlings commanded premium prices. It was a smart move. Today, 80% of all cattle sold at 101 have EID tags, qualify for PVP programs, and have at least one series of vaccinations through the 101 program.
We try to be on the leading edge of the technologies that, whether it be EID, animal welfare, inoculations, mineral programs, animal health issues.
Jim is a leader. He has been a member of CLAMA since 1977 and has held many different offices, including a seat on the board of directors during his tenure.
And I've served on the California Cattlemen's Animal Care Committee for about 15 years, and we actually wrote the animal handling guidelines under that position for the state of California. And I serve on an animal welfare task force currently that's trying to determine the things that we're doing inside the industry that maybe we don't need to do.
Jim sees what BQA practices can do to help the bottom line of beef producers, as well as how BQA can help increase consumer confidence in the beef industry as a whole. He believes strongly in leading by example and maximizing the ideas of others. He feels that the humane treatment of livestock and committing to BQA practices are key parts to improving and protecting the Western way of life.